Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Potsquatch Growers. That's right, everybody. Welcome to the live stream of the live stream of True on a Monday night, bringing it to you. I hope everyone's doing really well today. I'm sure everyone's heard about all the different floatings going on and this or that. Well, at the end of the day, that's a long, ongoing thing. There's 1,001 people with what they think is right, and I'm personally unsure at the moment. I mean, one thing I can know is if you compare that our verified H chip spectrum or spectrograph on the H chip, we've confirmed what Samsung's released on what the H chip does. If you compare that to Samsung's released spectrograph of the 301B, there are notable differences in the color spectrum. That is all that can be said right now. But we'll leave that where it is for now, and let's just get in here and say hi to everybody. What's up, everybody? All right, so what's up, Troy Shepard? What's up, Jesse Ludd? What's up, Jake Kabowski? What's up, Brian? What's up, Phillies Finest 215? What's up, Big Mac Creates? What's up, Theodore Hall? What's up, Mr. C's Grow Life? What's up, Jake Yokubowski? What's up, Heckler 420? What's up, Flippy Dippy? What's up, Frugal 420? What's up, Ganjanani Farm? Ganjanani Mama. There we go. How's everybody doing today, my friends? Welcome to another new live stream that we're going to bring to you today. Long story short, part of why the live stream that was yesterday, because I won't lie to you, I'm not an electrical engineer. There is a lot of stuff floating around right now about the 301H and the 301B. We've shared what we have figured out, okay? We've shared what we have done, and we're working on it, okay? Because at the end of the day, I got people that I trust on our team. Hello, Kat. I trust you, too. You're part of the team. Don't worry, Doctor. You're good. You're good. He's probably going to bite me. I don't know why. But anyway, long story short, we're working on that. Simply put, are they the same chip that's been rebranded? Doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. Let's be frank. That's the number one thing. The thing I find funny is the amount of energy we've spent today in terms of all of these things. And all of these little light nerds. And I don't say that in a bad way. I'm a nerd myself. I'm just not a hardcore light nerd. I know a bit. But, Brett knows a lot more than I. That's all stripped there. And, everyone's having this pissing contest back and forth of, well, this calculation's this or that, this or that. You want to know what Potsquatch's cut on the cake is? Doesn't matter. Whether it's the 301B and the 301H proves to be the same thing, or if there's subtle variations. I've got both. We got both, baby. We got the most advanced chip. Let's say they are hypothetically subtly different. I've got both of them. Regardless of anything, we have the most advanced chips in the world now in our rigs, and that's what we're moving forward with. And we've upgraded our production time, our customer service has always been on point, but we've upgraded a lot of shit there in terms of trying to be a better lighting brand and lighting company for the people. So really, at the end of the day, simply put, the argument's null and void. We've still got both of them, and we're ready to rock, baby. And we're still cheaper than everybody. So I'm not really worried at the end of the day. One thing I'll say about our new strips, we've been doing a lot of testing on our new strips. Let's put it this way. It is a significant step up from the initial chip we were rocking with. And we are getting par numbers of 1450 plus off single strips in our initial testings and builds on these rigs. So simply put, at the end of the day, who gives a shit about this or that or this or that? Because it's really like arguing over peanuts that really mean fuck all. You want to know what means something to me? Par number 1450 plus on a single strip. That feels pretty good. And I think my wheat titties are going to like that too, as will yours. I mean, I'm still rocking, the Legacy series, and we're going to keep using those because they fucking rock and they kill. But at the end of the day, we'll bring in a couple of the deluxe new ones there to show you as well and do a side-by-side and show you some stuff and play around with those. But all I know, basically, is like, hey, okay, the 301H is literally just a rebranded 301B. Doesn't matter, we still got them. We got H's, we got B's, we got all the most fancy shit. And we're cheaper than anyone else in that regard.
So I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. What's up, Srail How? Good to see you back, baby. How you doing? Where you at, Srail? There's Srail. Yeah, because me and Srail had a long thing. Srail is Rob. Rob is Srail for those of you from the Facebook community. And it was a complete miscommunication and it was, Srail was like, man, I'm going to look out for Potsquatches, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, man, like, it's looking like it might be the same fucker, man. It's like, if somebody going to charge you like $600 more, you basically might be paying $600 too much. Well, I'm going to put that $500 too much because currently on the H chip, from what we're showing, based off of our spectrographs compared to Samsung's 301B spectrographs, there's very much a notable difference in color. Unless they've been misrepresenting the 301B from day one in terms of their spectrographs, then that sounds like a them problem. See, for me, I have no problem. We have no problem here, Potsquatches. We still, whether the 301H is a 301B, doesn't fucking matter. We got both of them. We're ready to rock, man. Let's build you some wee titty lights. It's called Don't Even Worry About It, baby. And, that's where the whole kind of online thing right now, I find a little bit mildly amusing, to be completely frankly honest about that, is because, simply put, we've stepped up our game, and we're still the most affordable, and now we're just as advanced as anyone else, and in terms of chip technologies, and we're still vastly cheaper. And we've also increased the 75% that, or 75% build time, so we're a hell of a lot faster in building the damn things, too. No, you cool, Cannabis Cowboy. It turns out there's been a lot of, we've even come up, and Squatch Light have come up on some of these other bigger channels. It's been reported back to me. Big shout out to Steven. No personal beef at all with you, and thank you for being respectful in your live streams when I'm brought up. Steven was, I don't want to talk about Potsquatch. And he moved on from that. So that's all I'll say then, out of respect back to Steven. I'm not going to talk about Steven or HLG, other than the basic price points on things. We'll keep it at that. Out of mutual respect back there. But no, it's not you, Cannabis Cowboy. It's all right, man. I'll tell you. It's pretty much just basically been a whole thing of, well, what is it? Is it just a rebranding to keep track of? See, we're sitting here at Potsquatch Growers going, well, we got both. We're not really worried about that. And we're doing our own independent testing, and then we'll share everything we figure out with you. And regardless, we've still got the most advanced chips in the world now, combined with the most affordable, reliable, professional grade rig around. So, we're still doing okay. I'm not really worried about that. Let's grow some weed titties, man. When did it become such a pissing contest? I mean, to be fair, can I say I'm surprised that the LED lighting world is kind of that entity of the beast? Well, no, because marijuana in and of itself has always been that. Very competitive in many circles. Fuck, I come from BC. I'm a BC grower. BC growers can be some of the most arrogant pricks in the world. Fuck, and you think we're competitive with the rest of the world? Ah! Look at how we treat each other, man. It's bad. When did marijuana, a community of love and weed titties, become this thing of that? And like I said, we're still not upset because, regardless, we've had a serious step up in terms of what we're doing. We've improved our building styles. We've improved failure points. We've improved everything. And kept it affordable. Because we're doing this for you. Well, for us, too. Because, we like having good lights. And, we don't mind making a few bucks to pay for our mortgage and take care of the family, right? But, we want to offer the most reliable, professional grade, affordable tech on the market. We want to make it the best we can for you and always do our best to do that. And then walk with you with superior customer service, customer care, and hell, we're actually rolling out consultancy. One of our new things, at first we'll offer it for free. It might be a small additional charge of a few bucks just for the time it takes to run a few numbers on your space and look at your floor plans or help you develop the floor plans, but helping you to consult for newer commercial people coming into the industry, helping you set up your space, really talking about what do you really need to spend, how many rigs do you really need here, because a lot of people at companies will be breaking it down based off of square footage and core coverage, and that's not really practical application of designing a grow. I may not know every nuanced variable on an invol joule ppf or ppfd calculation. I know how to grow weed though. I know how to set up a grow that's very efficient and off-grid. And I understand enough of these fucking motherfuckers to one, sell them to you, and two, I'm working with our team who know more than I. It's not just me, not just one lonely, bald, bearded man in the woods. It's not just me doing this. Hell, if it was just me, I'd be concerned and I'd say run away. Oh, shit. Well, exactly, right? And it's like, you know, and like, yeah, last night I was a little overzealous in certain things, and I've learned that, you know, we've still got to do a compare and contrast in figuring out how you can even compare the two. Because like in the 301B, it's spoken about lumens to wattages. What is the 301B? How was it created? Well, it was built for like office buildings and heating or lighting people, lighting homes, lighting spaces. The 301H is technically the first ever marketed for horticulture chip from Samsung. Again, if we compare our spectrographs that we've confirmed the ones released by Samsung on the H and compare it, if taking it for word, currently on their website, by the way, their spectrographs, it is a different chip, at least by color spectrum alone. Unless they've had the wrong spectrograph published for 2 or 3 years, then, well, you know, I'm going to question Samsung on that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change that it's the most advanced chip regardless. And we got them now, and we're affordable, baby. So it's all like, just keep it real, keep it sexy, man. Well, you know, John H., I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I am not a complete retard, idiot, dumbass, dumb fuck. I am gifted, learning, disabled according to the man, but, you know, I think I'm just differently wired. But at the end of the day, you know, we're going to keep it real with you. And Brett is always going to keep it real with you. I'm always going to keep it real with you. And we're always going to do the best to our abilities and our knowledge and what we are working on and what we know and what we do. And I love how we're still talking about all this shit right now, but it really changes nothing. We stepped up a game, hitting 1450 plus ball numbers on single scripts. Oh, yeah! That's called a fuck yes to me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo. I drank to that. Well, Trail Davis, I mean, typically, in terms of favorite strains, I have a favorite species. It's called indica. I love Cushes. Big thing for me. Don't really have a favorite strain ever. What I could say is what my favorite strain that I've developed has been the Sasquatch strain, a blending of all three species, AC/DC blended with Trainwreck and Master Kush. Excuse me. Double excuse me. But that one was my favorite. 22% CBD, 18% on average THC on that one. And I was really, really happy about that strain. That strain made me happy inside. And so, yeah, 1 second here. There we go. Sorry, I was clicking a button. Hell yeah, paper scratcher. Oh, no worries, Mike Vigil. I'm happy to share what I know and my 2 cents is on subjects. I mean, I'm not the end-all, be-all of cannabis, but no one ever will be. The day you think that is the day you lose everything, for then you have stopped growing. And how can a grower stop growing if they are, in fact, a grower? That just doesn't seem to make sense. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Don't think so, though. Thank you, Alan. Much love to you, my friend. Hello. Back to growing says, hello, I'm smoking platinum cookies and was given a Jungle Boys bag seed. Hey, nice one, my friend. What was the wee titty that it came from that was the sack, if you know? No, the Sasquatch, and I'll type it for everyone to see how it is. because I am an actor. Unless I'm getting paid, I don't enunciate. It is Sasquatched, like to Sasquatch something. So Sasquatch is not currently available. A lot of the initial genetics from my first creations of stabilizing on that one are gone. I have about 10 of those beans left in existence. Which of the 7 different phenos that were present in my sort of final experiments on that will come about, I don't know. They were all brilliant and beautiful and amazing in their own respects. Slightly different levels on some of them. But I do intend, when we can legally bring actual seeds to market and figure out a way for us to do that properly and legally, I do intend on attempting to at least bring back a feminized version of that, made out of hopefully one of the, I'd love the Dark Mama Pheno to come back. If I can find her again out of those 10 seeds, and I've got a feeling I've got 1 or 2. I think I've got almost 1 or 2 of those phenos. I can sense it in the remaining beans. I will do my best to do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Sasquatch was a beautiful strain. I loved it. I missed it. I don't missed it. I missed it still, but, I mean, it's still there. We'll bring it back eventually. Well, Rob Grows, I mean, it's hard for me to speak to a lot of seed companies in actuality because, I mean, a lot of the beans that I've worked with have come from sort of more growers or breeders that I know, not formalized companies. I'm very skeptical of a lot of companies. I think a lot of times a lot of companies or breeders aren't taking the proper time to stabilize strains and really do sort of due course in creating a strain. But that's just my humble 2 cents. But at the end of the day, people that I've been impressed with that are formalized out there breeders, Jinx Proof Genetics, really, I like a lot of the work I've seen from what he's done. Don't personally know him, but I have friends who know him. GYO Seed Bank back in the day used to be a really safe bet place to go to get beans. I believe GYO now is only doing their own beans. They're not carrying other breeders. But that in and of itself, one could expect from a good history track record of being pimp or dope in that regard, is pretty good. Not really sure what's happening with a lot of the Canadian seed banks right now. I'm assuming that a lot of them probably still exist, like online gray zone dispensaries in Canada. BC Bud Depot was a dispensary back in the day that I think I've tried a few times. They were all right. But yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge of different formalized people. I just haven't tried it. So far, I'm really liking Pilgor's Bubba Kush. So far, his Berry White children are seeming very genetically uniform. Very nice. I'm liking it. That's a Potsquatch. I don't know if Pilgor's formalized anything in terms of his genealogies or releases into the worlds. But yeah, that shit's good. There's this guy called Potsquatch that occasionally makes beans. Those are pretty good. Sometimes when he does that, right? So. Well, exactly, Troy. I figured I could put a little cooler next to me and it would save on cut down time. Well, exactly. Cody Monco, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I just didn't want to be mean and say it like that. Yeah, Kurt Van Winter, Barry White, and this is, I believe, if I'm understanding correctly, this is Pilgor's personal reworking of Barry White and his own personal reworking of Bubba Kush. So I'm very excited about that. Well, I mean, maybe Pilgor will show up, and we can ask if Pilgor has a company yet, or what does Pilgor do. Maybe Pilgor can help you. We got to be careful in terms of on the YouTube and out of respect for YouTube, but freedom of knowledge, right? So if Pilgor has a website or somewhere where that you can contact them, that's your guys or girls or these there's business, it's not for me to say. With an E. I don't think he's called that on YouTube anymore. It's a different name now. Pilgor, he spells it with an E, by the way, everybody. But no, he's my homie, man. And he sent me his reworked Bubba Kush, his Barry White. Got a feeling there may have been something else. But he sent a bunch of shit to Adam, too. So those were different ones he sent. He sent Bubba's Valley and a couple of other things to the Adam Squatch. But Okay, so join the Facebook group, but don't do it publicly. If you would like to have private conversations about trades, you're allowed to do that through the Facebook group, not publicly, personally and privately, please and thank you. And the group is not responsible for if that doesn't work out for someone, and if there's some tomfoolery there, we are opting out of that. So if anything of that happens, that's on you guys, girls, seas, and dice. But I personally have no issues if you personally, in your personal conversations on the Facebook group, decide to do that. Again, the Facebook group is called Potsquatch Growers Community on Facebook there. Hell yeah, man. Oklahoma. Rock and roll. It's crazy to me how many Potsquatches actually exist down in Oklahoma, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. There's so many Potsquatches down in Oklahoma. Hell, two of the first flowering rooms that went with Squatch lights exclusively for their little companies are in Oklahoma. So that's pretty fucking cute. Hell yeah, Oklahoma. I think I'm going to have to just come down to Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma people, what do we think? Uncle Potsquatch comes to Oklahoma. And, well, I say, get your beers and doobies out. You don't have to drink, I do, and I hope, none of you have to drink, as long as it's all right if I have a few beers, because, well, let's be honest, that's kind of how I function. But let's meet up for beers and food and doobies. We could have, a meeting of the Oklahoma chapter of the Potsquatch Growers Army. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea, people? Do we like that? Oh, man, this is good. Fuck. Okay. This is not a normal joint. This has got, Okay, we've got Kushberry in here, Death Bubba, Black Diamond, and then I coated the paper in Rockstar rosin made by yours truly. Oh, yeah. It's good. It's got a lot of fruity nuances. I can see why they named it Kushberry. It's got the cushiness, but it definitely has this substruct to it that has a lot of beautiful fruity notes to it. So I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell yeah, Jesse Bud. Well, that's the thing. A bag seed doesn't necessarily mean a bad seed. Hell, you don't know if it was a Hermie. You don't know where it came from. And I mean, at the end of the day, if it's a naturally occurring seed, it's no different than the seeds you're going to go spend $1 billion for. It's like, in Canada, you go to a Lift Expo, for example, a couple years ago, I told my buddy, I was like, oh, I can't go, like, if you see this or that, buy me a few. So it was like $65 to $75 for like 3 seeds. And that's Canadian currency. So, it's not quite real money to most, but, yeah, it's, seeds are far too expensive, my humble 2 cents. What's up, Mr. Nice Guy? How you doing, my friend? What's up, my Dex? Well, there you go. Thank you for sharing that, Srel. So everyone, seedsherenow.com supposedly is a good place to check out there. So there you go. Rob Grows, I believe that autoflowers have their place in the cannabis world. Obviously, they're naturally occurring by nature of genetic premise, but in terms of market, they're not for me personally. And the type of grower that I am. I think that autoflowers are great for new growers. I think that autoflowers are great for small controlled grows with limited time windows. I definitely believe and will testify to the fact that autoflowers have come a long way in the last 5-10 years and really have begun to be able to produce some crazy fire and wonderful results. Just because it's an autoflower doesn't necessarily mean it's small anymore, too. Like, back in the day, you got low rider number 2, joint doctor action, you know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers didn't really get that big. they still had very much a ruderalis effect in the intermix going on in there. But I'm a firm believer that, at least currently, ruderalis will never be as strong as their parent strains. I do believe maybe through selective autoflower breeding over time, they could become their own thing that is equal to a photo with the right breeding. But I don't believe they're there yet. Yeah. I hope that helps, and I hope that helps you see into my mind about autoflowering cannabis. Dude, Jesse, that's super lucky. On my Grill of Blues they just popped, Jesse, I got 4 males, I'm thinking. The one is not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's a male. So I got 1, a singular 1, just 1 female out of 5 beans that I popped. I have lots of them, so I wasn't worried about that, but it was sad. I was looking forward to seeing a bunch of phenotypes, but I've got a good feeling about the one female for sure that we have. She looks like she will turn into something beautiful. She reminds me, actually, of the blueberry that was the midget weird one that got, kind of grown over by the other ones, but that was the one that we ended up keeping in the long run early on in the channel that became the blueberry indica of Yes, DJ Shorts, that pheno that we featured on the channel. She kind of reminds me of that one right now, so I'm all like, shit, baby, let's see what you can do. Nate Fox, veg rooms. I have a washroom I'm converting into a small basic veg area. We will be going into sort of a perpetual setup here with at least a triple rotation going on, adding in some new tables and expanding in the space in here, utilizing the space really, and trying to step up our game here this year to show you some fun things and playing around with our lights, and bring in some of our new lights as well, and we're going to be playing around, fuck around with that shit, make it sexy, right? So. Toher's Fire. Autos are great for fill in during veg or on my reg. No, I feel you. And to be fair, like Toher's, for example, in this room going forward on our designs, for example, like I'm going to have a table through here. I'm going to have a table through at the back. I'm going to convert this into a veg thing. But there's still, like, I'll have room on the license. So, I mean, hell, why not? Like, on the counter there, do a few autos just for the fuck of it. I mean, I've got some auto seeds that Aussie Big Buds sent us and created, so I am going to be doing a few, or at least a few of those this year, out of respect for our friend Aussie Big Buds, and to feature, Aussie's hard work, Also, a lot of people, I think, want to see me fuck around with an auto plant. I mean, I kind of hate them. Like, I mean, for me personally, like, just what they are, But that's a personal thing, by the way. That is a personal bias deep down within the Potsquatch himself. That doesn't need to influence how you feel about them. You're allowed your own opinion. But at the end of the day, fuck it, let's do it. I think a lot of people would like to see me fuck around with some autos, so, maybe we'll do some on the side, or we can bring in some of the new lights, or, you know what, fuck it. What we should do is we'll get a little Squatch. I'll bring in a little Squatch, and we should do like a little experiment, like the Mars one we did with their TS1000. 1 plant, 5 gallons, but I'll do it as an auto. And let's see what it can do. How's that sound? Does that sound like a fun experiment? I think that'd be a really good experiment. I think that would work really well. Because, like, fuck it. I mean, it all kind of, the kick in the pants was the whole Mars interchange anyway back in the day, to really kind of get my ass in gear on working on stuff. And that's what led to Soul Strip and us deciding to work together. So, really, let's bring in a little Squatch then. Who thinks we should bring in the littlest of the Squatches? We got video proof of what the Mars TS1000 did. I mean, it's not the same plant. It's an auto. So it's totally not really comparable, but fuck it. Who wants to see what little Squatch can do? That'd be a fun experiment, I think. What do you think about that? I think that'd be a great experiment. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I don't mean to be rude. Came in at 9:15 p.m. You have a blue beard and glasses and a hat. I believe that is Russian. I don't speak Russian except for a couple sentences that I learned for a television show audition. I definitely don't read it though, so I do apologize. If you can type in English, I'm happy to talk. I apologize. I just don't got that alphabet in my brain. It's a very intense one though, you know. Exactly, too drunk, too sloppy. That is very true, my friend. Oh hell yeah, Cody Monco. I'm a photo grower myself, right? And part of, to be fair, photos are inconsistent now too. That's because there's a lot of people out there that think you can just take a strain and cross a strain, and then you have a viable new strain and all this. I mean, genetics have not been properly watched, and proper breeding has not been taken. Proper eugenics in terms of keeping track of what we have and what can we create and where are they going and where, you know what I mean? Like, has not been acknowledged or honored by many in the game. Many out there who do that, are keeping things safe. So there are beautiful breeders out there. There are beautiful lines and things that are still safe out there. But there is a lot of other bullshit and flack. Kind of reminds me of how, like, when I was a kid, there was a bunch of misinformation on the internet about chronic or books and this or that, but like nowhere near as much as now. So genetics, in many sense, this is seeds, for example, in the market now remind me of information. So there you go. Maybe that's a natural next step for us to eventually try to bring in some stable, reliable stuff when we can legally do it as a company. Because simply put, that's why we started the YouTube. It was a response to the huge amounts of misinformation and crap, and well, it was just really hard for people to try to access things and begin to learn a bit and try to learn a bit of pot and how to grow wheat and etc. So we got to do something, or else, I mean, fuck, you know, I'm not myself. Well, that's the thing, Cody Monco. Just because a Hermes seed exists doesn't mean it's inherently going to herm or be weak. Genetics are a weird, funky thing. That's why I never throw things away. See what it could be. Gorilla Glue number 4 and Gorilla Glue, the whole series of them, came from a Hermes accident itself. Oh, Srilla, is the light on? I've got one double squatch on right now. It's on the one over there. Alan, Josul, the little squatch, don't get me wrong, it's no different than the big squatch or the double squatch. It is just a smaller version of light for those who only need a smaller light, but it's built like the bigger lights. A good exciting thing about the little squatches now, and this is pretty cool, we've actually been able to eliminate the fan on the current design. So there's a bunch of holes on the little squatch now you're going to see. You're going to see these holes drilled in the top of the heat sink. We've managed to do that, and what does that mean? It means we've been able to eliminate at least the supplementary fan that supports the heat sink, which is, you know, the chassis, right? Out, and maintain the operating parameters of like 50 to 60 centigrade, depending on environments of what we've designed the fucker to do. Great thing about doing that, any electrical part's always a failure point, so we've eliminated that and had a natural convection kind of design put into the little squatch. It at least works on that application. And the fucker cranks. Comes in 3 different sizes. I would go with the 205. That's the biggest one, if I'm remembering correctly, that we offer on the little squatch. I would go with the full 205 little squatch crank and go hot rodding. And just say, fuck it. Let the good times roll. I love you too, Zeke Roderick. Uncle Potsquatch, love you, my friend. I love all of you. 1 second here now. I gotta play kitchen. Ben Rugi, to make an auto-flowering cannabis? No. Colloidal silver does not create this. The auto-flowering genetic that is used in autoflowers comes from ruderalis. the third species of cannabis, the odd weird dwarf that exists all over the world and is rare but does a bunch of weird shit. The auto-flowering genetic originates from the third species of cannabis of ruderalis. The first work done to bring that genetic into a intermixed stable form to market was by the joint doctor. Look up low rider number 1, then look up low rider number 2, the reworking. And that's kind of where autos formally started in a marketable concept in the ideology, mindsets of different availabilities for the grower dancing in their temple of their grow, whether indoor or outdoor. That is the origin story. That is the truth on that one. So, it's pretty cool. I don't even know if the joint doctor's still alive. He might be dead now. I haven't looked into that. If he's not dead, I'd love to meet his ass and just say, fuck man, you were a visionary on some cool shit. Even if I'm not an auto guy, I'm gonna fucking give you a high five, shake your hand on that, my friend. Sorry, now I'm playing catch up again, everybody. One thing. Oh, I know. COS vapes, a lot of my friends stunt their plants. I don't personally like doing that. I train them out if I have to, but the whole stunting concept. But I mean, they do produce good weed. Like I'm not liking the weed, right? So it's like. One second here. So Jesse Lund, if you've got an auto bag seed, that means it came from an auto flowering cannabis. That means you were sold auto flowering cannabis, not a photo period cannabis. Well, okay, technically, it could have been theoretically a photo female being grown by close to either a hermed auto or a male auto, and that technically could have knocked up, and there could be the odd bead in there that would have done that. From a genetic standpoint, that is possible. So, Trell Davis, I don't really think from a basic ratio of NPK. I'm old school. I do use currently Green Planet nutrients as a pre-bottle, so I'm looking at them right now. So, for example, their blooms is 054, their micros are 501, their grows are 216. All right. But I don't just use that system. I use a bunch of other products from them. I also fuck around. I do a lot of coffee, do a lot of unsulfured blackstrap molasses. I do brown sugar sometimes. Sometimes I do this, I do that, I fuck around with a lot of shit, right? So I augment systems. Like, for example, another product they have is called Medi1. It's kind of meant to be a standalone, but not really effective for the full life cycle, in my opinion. Great product, though. Love that shit. And it's actually certified organic, too. But at the end of the day, they're like, found out, like, because I was talking to one of the production managers, they found out that I actually combined that with their 3-part system and other things all on a feed, and they're like, well, you do that, man? That's not like how it's supposed to work. I was like, yeah, I know it's maybe not how it's supposed to work, but like, it worked. It's pretty sweet. Smoke this shit, man. They're like, okay, man, this is good. Like, I was like, yeah, man. It's like something said. I don't know, right? Good times. But yeah. Okay, good. Morris Petula. How old is the joint doctor, though? How many years left do I have to fucking meet him? Just want to shake his hand and say, good job, man. Like actually. That would be like a weed grower fandom thing. I'd like to meet the joint doctor and Dr. Atomic. Is Dr. Atomic dead? Does anyone else know who I'm talking about? He was one of the early on, old school kind of Canadian-American hybrid guys. Because, he had citizenship on both sides. Had an obsession with Northern Lights. Crossed everything with Northern Lights. But hey, man, Northern Lights is fucking pimp, right? So it's like, no problems there. I'm pointing that way because this is the Northern Lights from Troy. We're regenerating, but I have heard of I-49, and I believe it's just on here that a lot of people have spoken about them. But I'll have to check that out too, I guess. I haven't done that one yet, but that's all right, Jesse. Ma Docs, I'm in British Columbia now. I was born in Ontario, in Burlington. Grew up in London, Ontario. Then lived in Vancouver, BC for about 20 years. I'm an actor, writer, comedian, and filmmaker and pot grower by trade. But after a while, I had to run away screaming from the city, find a place close enough to do business, and have a little bit more room to grow my medicine. So, and the wife gets a closet now that has clothes in it. Now we use those, she's pretty happy about that too. Hey. Well, Ben Ruby, I wouldn't be surprised if he was, what I'm saying? Like, I'm wrong on people's ages all the time. A lot of people are wrong on my age or how old they think I am. So, hell, Hollywood seems to think I'm a dad in his mid to late 30s, early 40s since I was 21. So, that felt nice over the years, I'll tell you. What's up, Mickey D, baby? What's crackin'? How you doing, Mickey D? Oh, yeah, Big Mac. I love that. What the smell's coming out of it right now? They call it the Sun God? Is that the name of the strain? Well, I'm glad you're growing the Sun God under the squelch lighting systems. For if the squelch lighting system did not hold up, well, one would assume the Sun God would tell it to fuck off. Yep. Mod Dax, I'm in British Columbia. I'm close to the border-ish. Pretty close. I live in what's known as the Fraser Valley. It's just outside of Vancouver, BC. What's up, Mike the Safer Ride Squatch? Welcome to the show. Everybody say hi, Mike. Hi, Mike the Safer Ride Squatch. I love his company's sort of slogan, as it were, or mantra. Drink. Don't drive. See, they're supporting my drinking and me not being extra stupid, because I'm stupid enough without, that. So I like it. Oh, hell yeah, Rob Rose. They have their uses. Like, I will fully acknowledge that. What's up, Adam Duplessis? How you doing, my friend? What's crackin'? What's up, Rodney Lepine? How you doing, my friend? Just chatting, our live stream, getting it real, having some time, talking to everybody, hanging out. Mr. Nice Guy. My cotton candy kush is in week 3 of flower. It actually smells like cotton candy. Well, that's pretty fucking cool, Mr. Nice Guy. Damn. Excuse me. Tory Strand at Potsquatch. If I put a plant outside to Fam Day. What does Fam Day mean? Like hang out with it outside? Is that what you mean? And it goes into flower. Will it stay in flower or re-veg because the days will be longer real soon? Oh, I understand. Okay, but how soon does soon mean? Like, I mean, are we already in okay, give me some time windows. Taurus Strand, I need more time windows in my head to calculate some shit for you. What's up, old man, 420? What's crackalacking? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. What's up, Penguin King? How far behind am I on this stupid shit? Adam Squatch is awake. Welcome to the show, Adam Squatch. Big Mac creates. Nice, sweet smell and dank. So far, development of flower starting to form. Very nice. The early titties. I like them. Handsome Cajun. If you got quick enough, auto strains could harvest 4 different times of the year indoors. Well, yeah, but I mean, you go perpetual indoors, you just harvest every 4 weeks. I mean, just saying. Every 3 weeks. Too. You can do it that way. Morris Patchouli, they may have a strain called Sasquatch. There is a strain called Sasquatched that I developed. I spent almost a little over 2 years developing that one. But yeah, it was good. I'm glad you're doing well, Rodney Lepine. Ford 8 Ewable. Started germination on 1 lemon, 1 amnesia both season, and 1 Colorado cookies Dutch passion, all auto second grow. Don't worry, Ford 8 Ewable.
You got this. Love your plants. Don't get too brash. Remember, when the babies don't water too much, let them take their time. Especially for a young plant, it's good to let it dry out a bit. Yes. Let it get wet, superhydrate. Now, this isn't for like, little babies that are like these little seedlings here, But like, for example, when they start to get a little bit bigger, superhydrate the fat, but then let it dry out before you water it again. That's called good decisions. Where are you from, Huckers? Okay. Yeah, New Orleans, Emerald Lagasse. The cooking show we're doing with Typhoon TV, I want to do it like Emerald Lagasse Live, but it's me instead of Emerald. And I'm not from New Orleans, but it's like weed and food. It'll be good. Wow, it's funny. I'm watching this. Like, what you're all watching is so far behind what I'm doing. The lag tonight's astonishing. Vanilla Kush is very nice. I love a tuna Kush. A tuna Kush I'm a big fan of, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm really far behind. Okay, I'm not too bad. Sorry if I missed anyone's, statements. And by the way, Penguin, thank you. I like that as well. At least I have fun with the voices, And the funny thing is, people think I do this for the channel. It's not true. I've been this way my whole life, pretty much. Ask my wife. Ask Glenn Wells. Ask Mike the Safer Ride Squatch. Ask anyone who's met me or hung out with me for any amount of time. Ask, my buddy Big A. What you're getting here on this channel is pretty much me. I mean, sometimes I'm quiet, or some days I'm having a bad day, but, if I'm out in public, even if I'm having a bad day, I was bartender off and on for years, because, actor, writer, comedian, what does that mean? I'm bartender. But at the end of the day, what you're seeing with the different voices, the different characters, and blah, 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 and just, yeah, that's literally me. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Often I make the joke to people, I'm not actually an actor. I'm just weird. And I found a job that made it work. Obviously, I am an actor and I have been training since I was a kid, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's a funny joke. Oh, the infamous Johnny K. What's crack-a-lacking? Is this Big Johnny K of Pokemon? The infamous Johnny K. This is Big Johnny K of Pokemon, aren't you? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most entertaining karaoke performers in all of BC. Big Johnny K of Pokemon. Well, Penguin, if I couldn't make you laugh out loud through a weird little camera and a phone that went through a box to basically first from that box to a line, from a line to a port to a satellite to back down to a wire to you. Well, that'd make me a pretty shit comedian, wouldn't it? Every fit was made in my life. Oh, jeez. Oh. Anyway, everybody, we're back. Excuse me. Well, Penguin, as a Canadian citizen, I do not believe I would be allowed to run for president of the United States. Maybe one day, if you change your constitution, where I could therefore, as a Canadian citizen, come down to America, I'll call it a 4-year vacation. A working vacation. And I would definitely do the best that I could there for my American brothers, sisters, these and days. And because, well, I may be Canadian, but, well, we're all North American. We're all in the same fucking continent, right? So, and let's be fair, we've both been here a long fucking time. And we both came from the same place, too. We both started being pissed off at other people and kind of getting upset about shit, right? So, yeah, you guys kind of went right for it. We kind of took our time from the inside on that one, and technically we're still, quite tight. But you know what I'm saying. History majors out there will understand that one, but Mr. Nice Guy, good question. I've had a bunch of different hydro newts. Put it this way: one, sometimes they go weird and crystallized. If they start to crystallize on you, get rid of them. I haven't seen bottles go bad though. They usually stay good in a limited, in a normal environment with not a lot of light on them for about a solid. Fuck, let me think here. 2 and a bit years maybe. I would say 2 and a bit years. Yes. Slick Stare. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you? Slick Stare. Don Leon. What's up? Well, just doing the show and having fun. Enjoying that. Having a good time. Hashtag boom. John Smith. We're bringing back the Empire. No, we're not bringing back the Empire. We are the rebellion, building our own community. And I don't like the word empire because I've been too much of a geek for my life, so we cannot do that. We are the rebellion. And, well, when we take down the establishment, well, let's even get rid of that word. We'll just call it people getting along and doing shit right. The human fucking race. Here we are. Let's go with it. Hey, let's just go fucking Star Trek. That shit worked. Why not? Worked on film. And if we could control our own emotional basis and acceptance and tolerance of each other, then we could probably do it in reality, to be fair. Rock and roll. That's right, Mr. Nice Guy. The force is strong with the plant. I can sense it as well. I can sense it through the Schwartz. Wait, we said force. Oh, crap. Human race 2.0. Well, to be fair, if we're talking about evolutionary speaking and different, societal breakdowns and this or that, it'd probably be human, at least arguably 1321. So, but I love it. It's just, I like it, You look like a hipster without your big beard, Potsquatch. Well, Peter Vigna, if that's just a way of calling me pretty, I guess I'm okay with that. Thank you. I feel that I'm occasionally not horrid looking as well. But, no, I'm definitely not a hipster. The funny thing is, and, I know a lot of people say this, because when I was a kid, well, not a kid, my early 20s, before, hipster was really a thing, I had my own look, it was funky or whatever, and so there are similarities, but I moved to Europe for a few years, got married, it was horrible, and then I came back, and there's this whole hipster thing now, and I was like, well, that wasn't here when I left. When did that happen? And then there's all these kind of hipster bars in Vancouver, and they took all these nerd things that I loved, made it cheap and plasticized and accessible to everybody. And it's not like I don't want nerdism to be accessible, but just made it cheap. Yes, I'm talking about Stormcrow in Vancouver. No offense, everybody, but it's true. There, it's Stormcrow who may be watching. But, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Used to have to work to be a nerd. Not just buy it at a store. But anyway, moving on. At the end of the day, I'm just also being silly. I'm sure that there are many even hipster people in part of the Potsquatch Growers community, and you are allowed. I will pretend you're just like younger cousins to things I valued growing up, and that is a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with the hipsters. Maybe we just need to teach them better. Maybe it's our fault. Well, not fully, but maybe partially, a little bit. See you later, Ben. Much love to you as well, my friend. Growing with Aquarius, that's fucking awesome. Growing with Aquarius, that is a beautiful, amazing thing. And I'm glad in some way that my silly shenanigans of existence, of my stupidity, helped you to get excited to do something super cool and creative, because I'm in real full support of anyone being creative and having fun and doing what they're doing. And that's fucking awesome. Big, super love on that one. Alan Graham, I think if I were to, like, I don't like labels, especially, I'm too weird and all over the place to really label, but, and that's probably a fairly true statement, to be honest. But I'm a weird blending of a bunch of different groups, shall we say, or different groups or people over the years. That's one of the funny but true statements I think about the Potsquatch. I often make the joke to many people, I was born 90. I'm both traditional and not traditional at fucking all. Yes, but true. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Cigar time. I fucking held out for almost an hour without a puff on a cigar on this one. Good job, me. Hello. What's up, Patterson Motorsports? Chem D, did I email you back about the re-vegging girl, or did I see pictures on the re-vegging girl? I think I emailed you back about that today, Chem D. See, like I even wrote it on the board. See, from yesterday, Chem D. Well, that's true, Mr. Nice Guy. You know, things have gone full circle in many senses. You know what I mean? You were born 1960. Well, so you at arguably at best was a late 70s, early 80s, you know, secondary hippie. You were a little kid in the 60s. And to be fair, I'm not trying to be condescending in any way. I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just sort of analyzing history, you know. I was born in 1988, year of the dragon. But I was born in July, so I'm a Cancer, so I'm a fire water sign. I'm a Cancer out Cancer. Ooh. I got one nut. That one's just funny on its own. Ali Papa, the masks are not required. You need to realize that one or two people having something, not a big deal. You're going to be fine, okay? If it blows up, we're all fucked anyway. A paper mask isn't going to help you. And at the end of the day, it is currently right now being monitored. If it is a legitimate thing to the extent of what's being shared or even further, it's going to be okay. Be smart. Keep reading the news in terms of know that if I get to a point, I've spent my entire life watching apocalyptica films, and I also read a lot, both fiction and science books. If something's happening where I'm freaking out, you know I'm gonna fucking freak out and be like, motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you right now, shit's getting real. Shit's getting real. But right now, don't panic. There's no need to panic about Corona right now at the moment. Don't be a dumbass. The world needs to pay attention in the areas where things are blowing up. But the fact that there's, a person and possibly a wife in Toronto that has it is not something that you should be freaking out or panicking about. It is literally a variable of two people. 800 people died from SARS, roughly. Okay? 800 people. There's billions and billions and billions of us. So it's not like we've actually, okay. So just, I'm not saying it won't go there, but I'm saying it's definitely not there now. So don't freak out. Just be smart and be aware. Yeah. The right line would be that one, unless you were meaning you wanted some Lyme disease with your coronavirus, because that'd be all, that could be a thing too, the three of. Oh, Ali Papa, I'm not disagreeing with what has been observed, but however, though, one of the initial items that was first observed, supposedly, was a fever. Now it's being found without the fever. It's obviously something that's changing. We don't really know what the fuck's going on. And I'm not saying it's not a serious thing. It's obviously a very serious thing. That's why we're taking care of it, and everyone's freaking the fuck out. I'm saying let the government freak out. Okay. Keep your level headed about yourself as a human being, as a citizen in wherever you live. We are an international community here. If shit gets real, if shit gets bad, like let's say zombies do happen, because I know that's where a lot of us, we're stoners. Let's be honest right now. We're fucking stoned. And we're like, oh man, what if it means like beer zombies, man? And then I'm like, oh, I'm conflicted because, I like beer. I hate Corona, but I mean, it's still beer, right? No. But it's like, yo, we're an international community, not just this channel, all the channels, everywhere. Like, we communicate now. So if shit starts getting real, where zombies are happening, before the satellites or anything is taken out, we're gonna fucking know. So for now, let's be logical and smart, take care of ourselves, take care of others, and be smart about the fact that, yes, there is a hypothetical thing that, in theory, could get really fucking bad if we're not careful. That does not mean everyone should panic or live in fear right now. Ali Papa, nothing I have read has spoken of black goo. I'm very much a nerd and I love, like I said, apocalyptica shit or pandemic style things. I love that kind of shit in terms of like the films I watched or the books I read as a kid. Okay? But right now, we're not gonna need to freak the fuck out. It is currently being used to sensationalize a lot. And I'm not talking about sensationalizing what's happening. It's just a sheer statistical analysis for the human race. We got to think more logically here and not just get all hyped up by the crap that they keep feeding you through the news. I'm not saying don't listen to it. I'm saying grain of salt, variables, counter variable it, think, exercise free thought. Don't be just an idiot. Be an intelligent idiot. Hell yeah, Philly's fine at 215. I concur with that. Huh? Now that's a question. Has anyone who has died from coronavirus been a weed smoker? Because it was proven with SARS that cannabis smokers and regular smokers, because of the mucus of the regular smoking and inhalation, actually protected many of us from the actual SARS virus. And they are likening this to SARS by the way and the nature of which it's attacking the respiratory system. So therefore, everybody start smoking more weed, we good. It's like, man, we don't need hazmat suits, send in the stoners, just keep the joints coming. And for the Canadian stoners and the Americans, some of them, they're definitely going to need beers. Okay, guys, we got this, guys. Just keep your smoke, keep your joints on, okay? Keep your doobies lit, and we will be safe, okay? Don't worry, sick people, we are coming. We are the weed people of the universe, and we have programmed ourselves to resist this weird respiratory bullshit. Cue Eye of the Tiger, enter the Potsquatch Growers army, and then all the other, stoners jump in, and then all of us go in together, and we save the world. Right? Well, Ford, A. Jubal, I would say that there are definitely recurring cycles in history of the human race, if that's what you mean. If you mean it's a replaying time loop, well, that could happen. Who knows? Maybe someone developed a time technology that, well, we fucked it up and we're on a reoccurring, 320 million year loop. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we don't know that yet. I'm just saying, Let's exercise what few neurons we have that are programmed positively to some sins. Okay, so you're not going anywhere unless you got to walk through snow? Well, that is what we can use the Canadian stoners for. Send us in first. We get snow. If you send enough of us in with our doobies lit, we'll just push right through it. Tell us there's a beer store at the end of the way, and well, fuck, about half of us will just start walking. If we'll plow it. Send in the Canadians. We'll plow the snowy, pass, and then we can all get through. It's all about the strengths of the different groups of people, right? Hashtag boom. Don't worry, America. We know there's stoners down there that get snow. You can come too. We're just probably a little bit closer right now. So we'll start, you follow up behind, and you get the shit that we miss. And then together we'll both eventually arrive there at the same time. We'll probably be intermixed by the time we get there because we're all stoned and some of us are sitting down and some of us are like, I'm so high. I'm like, damn, who gave that fucking guy sativa? He's faster than the rest of us. That was a misappropriation of marijuana. Okay, I think I'm done making this riff now. I think I'm going to go pee now. Not to toot my own horn, but I kind of enjoyed that one. I did. I think we may have just wrote a movie now. If anyone out there who's a rich filmmaker watching, call me tomorrow. Let's figure this out. Let's do that. Hashtag boom. We can call it... No, let's call it hashtag boom, just to be the fuck of it. It won't make any sense, or we can go hashtag boom pandemic. I don't know. All right, now for a time that hasn't happened in a while. Don't worry, those of you who are new to this, it hasn't happened recently much. I pee during live streams. It's a live stream during a live stream. It's a stream squared with a side of live squared. Yes. So yeah, but don't worry. I'm not. It's not a weird, sexual thing. I'm just really having to pee because I, drink beer. Diuretics happen. Yeah. Just being real. They're watching. You're a pervert. You know that? Just tranquil sound effects, everyone. Shut your eyes. Smoke your joint. You're good. All right. 1 second. I gotta do it with my pants now. All right. Now, we have to recalculate and get this going here. Dun, 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 dun. Bear with me for a moment, everyone. Oh, shit, what did I do? Nothing. It's all right. All right. Now, I think this is there. There we go, and that's a thing, and maybe that's an angle on a chair, maybe. There we go, and then we're going to go take this cable there, and we're going to plug that in so we don't lose power. And then we're going to pick up the other phone that we're using to monitor what people are saying and shit, and doing that. So we're going to do that now. And we're going to check that one out there, and, all right. No, I'm not blaming it on the giraffes. I'm just calling them the perverts that they are. It is a tradition. Uncle Potsquatch drinks and then pisses. It's not really a live stream until I live stream during the live stream. That's right. Bum, bum, bum. All right. That's right. Big Mac Creates is right. They're likening this to SARS. This is both a joke and serious. Marijuana, and to be fair, tobacco even arguably, protected us last time. So smoke more, people. And we will be the ones to save the world, maybe. Based off a shred of scientific proof.
Hey, don't worry, I'll go in first, everybody. But if I survive, that doesn't necessarily mean you won't die. I am genetically a little bit of a freak. Ask H1N1. Does not like me. I kicked it fast. All right. Well, technically, Jesse, look, I can't remember which one. One of them is actually off by 2 years. It was actually 18, not 20 on the year on that one. But close to fucking enough. I think it was the Spanish influenza that, what was it, that one? One of them started in fucking, shit. It was 2 years before the 20. So it's not an actual, it's hard to argue the exactitude. But I mean, technically, let's be fair, it was pretty damn close. So let's arguably say they're all 20. Well then, you know what? This is the year of the 420. Okay? Year of the 420. It always happened in 20. The new super one came of 420. Likened to SARS. But in the year of the 420, the people of the 420 were the ones to find the way to the cure. Or at least not die from it, at least. So, if we do have superpowers as stoners and daily pot smokers where we can walk into these infected areas and be totally cool, I think we should do it. I think we have to. They're just gonna, and you know what? Maybe that'll be a big step forward for all of us around the world. The year 420 saved the world. Legal everywhere. Stoners unite. Send in the weed people. Hashtag boom. So that would be my thoughts on that one then, my friend. That would be my thoughts on that one. Well, you know, Fort Ateable, let's just put it this way. As my Uncle Frank always said, don't necessarily believe something just because you read it. Often, 9 times out of 10 at bare minimum, you need to go check that shit out for yourself. And, you know, just exercise critical thinking. Exercise your self-given right of the brain in there. Read, think, expand your mind. Don't let the world close your mind off. Don't become a raging lunatic either if you can avoid that. But I mean, it's like, you know, you see what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. I enjoy CBD for sure. It definitely helps a bit with my pain, especially with some of my joint pains after all the breakings of my body. CBD doesn't seem to do much for my neuropathic pain in my head, but it's a weird thing. So that one. So, but it's great for my other body discomforts and shit, and make me feel nice. I mean, I struggle with anxiety and depression off and on, and that's something I'm very, I'll be honest about. And it definitely helps a bit with that as well, for sure. So, hell yeah, Alan Graham, I can drink to that, motherfucker. God damn it, we left the torch in the other room. Kind of like the joint, motherfuckers out here, man. Motherfuckers here. I mean, to be fair, it's like 4 or 5 steps. Why am I carrying? It's all bad. I guess I'm just being a dramatic asshole. If by inverse relationship, John Dauber, You mean a complementary one where they both accentuate each other's abilities within the human biochemistry? I would say yes. You out, Hans Cajun? Whoa! Whoa! The new Zombieland's out? How has no one told my stoner ass? Is it out yet? Is it really out? Dude, I want to watch it. I love Zombieland 1. Fuck yeah, man. All right. Dude, thank you for notifying me of that, Blob Jones. I have actually kind of, like, for the first time, this has been one of those movies that I knew was coming for a while that I have legitimately been excited for. That does not happen often for me these days. I'm just grumpy, old, and cynical. But, Zombieland 2. Fuck yeah, man. I'm super stoked for that one. That's awesome. Thank you for notifying me of that. I am very happy. Okay, no spoilers, alright? I want to watch it on my own stone time, alright? But I'm so excited. What's up, Das Keith? How you doing, my friend? Yeah, right, fishing dudes? I just found out too. Supposedly some of our fellow Potsquatchers have watched it, and they said it was not fucking bad at all. So, you know what? Let's get stoned, all of us, and go fucking see it. I mean, right? Hashtag boom. Oh, Das Keith. Do you mean the Scotty Murphys? The Murphs? Scotty Murphy! Oh shit. Murph, if you're watching, call me when the show's done. I meant to call him earlier. Oh, funny. Murph, I meant to call you earlier if you're watching right now. Or Dos Keith, if you're friends with Murph, tell him I'll call him when the show's done if he's still awake. Srill, I think they can. If you actually watched the series called The Shows That Made Us, hearing the original origin story of the Ghostbusters and what Dan Aykroyd originally wrote, holy shit, it is not what we watched. My guys, girls, this and this. I tell you, it was pretty fucking crazy. Mod Dax, I was a super soil guy for years back in the day before a lot of the ingredients I liked became far too expensive for what I could afford as a actor, writer, comedian, bartender. I love it. The cat's actually just sitting over there in one of the drain trays. It's not in use but the big 20 gallons. He's so happy. He's sitting in the light, just cuddling and listening to the show. He's a sweetheart. He was originally a Mexican street kitten. I rescued from the streets of Mexico. Brought him back. He was undersized for his age, and then he kept eating and became a 23-pound ginger tabby. Boom. Well, I'll let the cats in Dulce, you know. To be fair, the dogs are so mean to him. Our little dogs, I mean, they're sweethearts. I love the dogs, but the cat's getting older. And they're just so, like, up in his grill. Younger him might have swatted at him, and he could fuck him up so bad if he wanted to, but he doesn't fight back. He knows they're little dogs and young. But he spends a lot of time, alienated from kind of the pack, shall we say now, because so it's nice that he hangs out, like he and I, we spend time in the lab he comes to work with Daddy and hangs out in here, so he gets the time in. You know what I'm saying? Penguin King. I have been to Mexico once. I went to Puerto Vallarta in my early 20s. I have some stories from me in Mexico. I got shanked in Mexico, but I won the fight. I did some stupid things in my early 20s in Mexico. I went to an all-inclusive resort. The one night I decided to go out to a nightclub. Shit got weird. That's what happens when I go to, by myself to Mexico, I guess. That is super cool. Yes, Penguin King. It was down at a nightclub, nice fancy one, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Penguin King, can I ask a question? Are you from Mexico? I'll tell you, it's a funny story, motherfuckers. I mean, it's like I'm 31 now. This happened like a decade ago. It's funny. You just went. Nah, but like, okay, so the story is not like a bad thing of like, okay, I'll tell you how it happened. So, okay, Uncle Potsquatch goes to Mexico, and I'm like 2021. I was like, well, call my friends. I'm like, you guys are always going to Mexico. Does anyone want to go together for like the first time? Because it was like a thing. It's a thing in BC. People go to Mexico. I always went to Europe growing up, so I was like, okay, well, no one wants to go. I'm going to go on a vacation on myself. I, set a few pennies. I said, fuck it, I'll go down to Mexico. So I'm at the, all-inclusive resort. I'm loving this. Like, drinks, all I can have, food, everything. That's really all a Potsquatch needs to be happy. And so I'm just hanging out. And then, all the other people are going out and doing other things. I'm like, why would you leave this beautiful place to sit and just drink and eat? So some younger people that were like 19, so it was only a couple years between us, but made fun of me for being an old man. And I was like, I'm not an old man. Fine, I'll go to a nightclub. Fuck it. So I left the resort, and I'd been drinking. Well, I literally drank the whole time. It's the point of going to an all-inclusive resort. I did not go to not drink. He called me an old man, so I said, fuck it, I'll go out. I'll show him I can be hip and cool. And I certainly did, in a sense. Sorry, I'm reliving the moments. So I get this cab, and I go, yo, bud, I want to go to the fucking sexiest, coolest, the hippest, and I said the hippest. Like, I am an old man, fuck. Even when I was a fucking 21-year-old. Nightclub you got. So he takes me down this place, and I go in, and I'm sitting there having a drink. What's up, Peyton Welch? I'm telling a story right now. I'll say hi a little bit more in a second. So, so I get to this place, and I walk in, I'm like, all right, this look cool. I mean, this place, there's people and shit. Okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna go inside and drink. So I walk in, and I start drinking. After a while, I've been there about an hour drinking, and then this beautiful Mexican woman comes up to me and sits next to me, and she all like, hi. I'm like, don't you mean hola? She's like, no, you're not Mexican. I was like, ha! You passed my test. Hi, I'm from Canada. How's it going? So we talk and shit. She's being very friendly. I was single at the time. I don't give a shit. Touch my leg all you want, So all of a sudden, I feel this tap, tap, tap on my back shoulder. Hey, gringo. What are you doing talking to my girl? I don't really register at first. Like, I heard it, but I'm like, I'm fucking like. So I sit there and I'm like, so how are you doing? And then tap, 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 same thing. Hey, gringo. So I turn around, and I don't mean this in an offensive way to people of Mexico, but this man was the Mexican hobbit. Like, I turn around, and he's like this tiny dude. So I'm drunk, so I was laughing. And I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And he says the same thing back. This is where Uncle Potsquatch could have walked away, everyone. So this is where you will not get stabbed in Mexico. This is not a story of how to live in Mexico. This is Potsquatch at 21 went to Mexico by himself. Right? So, oh no, there's some very beautiful ladies there. It's all good, man. I feel you. And that's what I was thinking was happening. But anyway, so I finally, my drunken ass realizes what happened. Or what's happening. What he's thinking. Ah, I see, I say to him. So I turn to her, and I look at her. She's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of true. I'm like, thanks a lot. Nice one. But I'm still me, and I'm by myself. I'm 21. I'm drunk in Mexico, and I'm me, being an Indian. And I say, look, listen, Cupcake. The fact of the matter is, I don't know how it works in Mexico, but in Canada, a woman can talk to whoever she wants to. We were having a nice conversation. So, you got nothing to worry about, but why don't you go sit down and I'll send her to you when I'm done with her. I wink at him, pat him on the head, and turn my back on him. This is where I really go wrong. But I knew I was going wrong. I was underground cage for years. It was done on purpose. It's done out of ego. It's done out of stupidity. But, lesson 2, don't do that. So anyway, there's those, and who remembers, remember the big old saw and scissors there? There's a big old saw and scissors thing around the other edge of the bar. So he grabs them, and he shanks me, and it's like right in between my ass and my hip bone. Like right here. I mean, I'm going to get naked on YouTube. I mean, I'll post a picture on Instagram that's not offensive. You can see the scar. It's like right here. I'm like touching it. I can feel it. Just pop down on the handle and that. And I'm kind of like, ah! Inside my head. Ah! Right? But, you don't do that, right? Because we're interacting and being male stupid, right? So, and I'm an actor, so I'm like, it hurts, but, it's fine. So I look down at that and look up at him. And he's freaking out because I'm not freaking out. So I'm like, okay. So I turn to the bartender there and I say, whiskey? He thinks I'm going to bottle him. So we went to do that, but no. Took a sip, smacked his head on the bar, knocked him off. Went up to his friends and pulled out the scissors. And I'm like, do we have an issue? And I put them on the table. And I'm bleeding everywhere so bad. Well, can I go to the bloody hospital? No pun intended. And utilize my travel insurance. And they're all like, nah, man, we cool, man, we cool, you cool, man, we cool, we cool, we cool. And then I went to the hospital, and that was my time in Mexico. I mean, okay, well, one, I don't, he was short, but he attacked me, man. He shanked my ass. I just cracked his ass on the bar, man. I could have got into it, but I did not. Just knocked him out. I was a bit of a peacock strutting actor, pulled some scissors out of my leg, and then I went and utilized my travel insurance. All right, let's get back to weed. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I got distracted by memory lane. This is called Getting to Know Uncle Potsquatch and his early stupid years of life. Well, you gotta have fun somehow, Big Mac creates. I mean, life's only so short. Big Johnny K, the infamous, I believe it's you. You did not say it was you, but I believe from the previous reference that it is you. Love you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, man. Thank you for checking out the show. And I love you, buddy. Right, Penguin King? I mean, what did we learn from this story? One, we can handle any situation in a plethora of ways. 2, shit happens.
Yes. Tincture production as well. I remember that.
I mean, I didn't actually pull it out. I just looked at it, looked at him, asked the bartender for whiskey. I was totally thinking Indiana Jones. Like, take a sip though. Pop! Then you walk up to his friends, and then you pull it out in front of his friends. And then you lick it Bruce Lee style. Blood time. It is a psychological thing. Do we have an issue? Or can I go and utilize my travel insurance? Hashtag. Try getting in a cab bleeding everywhere in Mexico, though. That was a little hard at first. I had to get a bar rag and like stop it enough so that someone would let me in the cab. So I did go back in the bar, technically. But that was after the real main part of the story, so. Have I tried Acapulco Gold? No, I have not. I mean, once or twice people said they had it. I don't believe what I smoked was Acapulco Gold. May have been, and if it was, then I found it very underwhelming. So that's part of what leads me to think that it was not necessarily the true Acapulco Gold. Hell yeah, fisher dudes. I'm glad and welcome to the group, my friend. So, my friends, how's everybody doing? Malachi McBride, what's crack-a-lackin'? How you doing, my friend? I'm very impressed by Pilgor's Berry Whites. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing on these Berry Whites. So Pilgor, if you're watching, motherfucker, this is some good shit. I like it. Very beautiful girls. How many seeds did you pop, Big Mac creates, and how big's your tent? 4x2. How many seeds? Oh, God. I didn't see your redacted messages, Malachi McBride. I missed them. 13. Well, if you're using the tent alone as a veg, yeah, you're fine. But to start them, but holy shit, yeah, no, that's way too many plants for a 2x4. But I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to expand a few little sections, maybe. Oh, well, that's good then. Big Mac creates, though. You got to remember, though, the true test of finding a true mother, a true pheno, is you've got to watch how that genetic goes and rocks and rolls. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to do is see how she finishes herself out. So given that with the 2x4, it's going to be a little tricky. But there's ways around that and different techniques you could do. If you know what I'm saying. Sounds good, handsome Cajun. Rest well, my friend. Keep it rocking and rolling, keeping it sexy, my friend. So, everybody, do we have any questions? Would we like to talk about anything specific, or is everybody getting tired there? We don't have to keep talking if you don't want to. It's all right. It's all right.
To be fair, I have a fairly early morning myself there, so. No, Penguin King. I have not been questioned for my sanity because I smoked marijuana in Canada. Um, to be actually fair, I've never been questioned on my sanity at all, to be honest. I know that seems strange. When I first got caught for pot as a child, I mean, my parents, who were quite more conservative in terms of pot early on, as they're both priests, Anglican priests, right? But my mom and my dad caught me for pot at 14. Yes, I had many, many pounds of pot maybe in my bed underneath the bedspread, but that was my private area. And so, yeah, I was told that marijuana was the devil and all of that. And I'm sitting here going, well, as Anglicans, you taught me the devil isn't real, and yet now you're saying that, so that doesn't make sense. And that was kind of me at 14. But if you mean CBD flower, John Wisniewski, I haven't tried any of the CBD flowers. I don't really know much on the market. I mean, most of my knowledge is of the CBD itself. Um, I've worked with creating CBD THC strains. Uh, so, like ACDC had a 1 to 6% THC relation with about a 20% on average CBD ratio. That was a big chunk of what went into the Sasquatch strain. But for me, I always wanted to kind of have both sides of the fence, both hands playing, if that makes sense. Double handing it. So, I kind of blended those two worlds together, and that for me was the thing. So I have experience with working with that. If you want 1 to 6% THC strain, that if you can get a good source of it is really decent and really nice, I chose to work with it. ACDC, rock and roll, baby. Hashtag boom. Penguin King. A lot of the readings in terms of the linkage of cannabis usage to psychosis of schizophrenia, etc., etc. Predominantly, one from what I've read, and two in my humble 2 cents, and I'm not a doctor. This is just my uh, fool's book read opinion, and as a cannabis user and a medical grower, and someone who comes from a family where people have struggled with mental health disorders. I was married once. My first wife had, borderline personality disorder. It was like living with 5 or 6 different people. It was a weird adventure. Only one of them was nice, and they didn't show up very often, but at least near the end. But anyway, sorry. She's passed away now, so it was just a long story. So moving on. But I do feel, and someone who's misdiagnosed as bipolar actually for 5 years, wasn't actually in the end, and they put me on meds that really fucked up my life when I was younger, and I gained a lot of weight. I feel fairly qualified to comment on my education and my reading on that. So, I would personally say, in my 2 cents, marijuana and cannabinoids, especially that there are many hundreds of psychoactive chemicals in there, could potentially, for some, who have a predisposition potentially to schizophrenia from family or genetic lineages, maybe have that triggered. But I will say that there is no true proof that has proven that even. And I have a lot of friends who struggle with mental health disorders. And marijuana for them is actually a saving grace that gets them off the weird, crazy pharmaceuticals. And I've seen them on both sides of the fence and without anything. And I believe them. So I will say grain of salt. It could go a bunch of different ways. There is the raised potential, if a family history is there. But I'll be honest, my technical genetic grandfather on my mother's side was a drug addict and was a drug-induced schizophrenic. I've been smoking pot every day since I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure I'm good. Shut up. That was a bad joke and a mean joke, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to poke at the seriousness of all that stuff. Uh, but that is an honest truth tell on my personal life and my take on it. Again, my 2 cents. What's up, Big Daddy? How you doing, my friend? Hell yeah. Tell Helga I say rock and roll, sister. Oh no. Torch. We need the torch. Oh, just having a random show with my friend Big Daddy. Let the good times roll. Just sharing what we can. Have a good show. I got to be responsible to not do a super long show tonight. I have to be up in the morning for. Oh shit! I should talk about that. So I've got a business meeting in the morning that we got to do. Very important one. So we're gonna do that in the morning. And then we've got to do a bunch of business calls on behalf of Jake. So we're gonna do that. And then we actually have to head in and meet our friend Glenn Wills at 2 p.m. tomorrow because we're going to head into Vancouver there. And we're going to be one of the main guests on the THC show on Pot TV tomorrow. So I think predominantly from what my guests we're going to be talking about is I'll be chatting and smoking some weed. We're going to be talking about growing plants and sort of the laws in Canada and how to get the most out of your forward plants and what the laws are in relations to that and how people in Canada can be empowered and do their thing. We'll talk about the lights, I guess, a bit and all that too, I guess. But you know, nothing wrong with that, I guess. But that's what we're gonna go do. So we're doing that tomorrow. So it's gonna be a big day. So I should probably, also be remembering all of the things tomorrow I have to do. And keep it real, keep it ourselves, keep it sexy, right? So, oh, 1 second. The cat needs to come out of the door here. Come on out, cat. There you go, buddy. Oh, well then CBG in terms of the cannabinoid, I have very little experience with working with any strains where I'm aware that it's in it. I have not tried any of the new strains having those in them. John Wisniewski. Doesn't mean I'm opposed to checking them out. I just personally don't have any real actual experience where I can be honest and say, yes, I have an opinion on this. No, I don't. I mean, I've read about it. I know a bit about it. But I would guess that the fact that you're asking about it means that you know more people who are involved in that one than I do. And that's just me being honest, my friend. Thank you, Ham Slayer. Good night to you as well, my friend. Keep it sexy, keep it real. That makes sense, John. Selective breeding or selective eugenics can really, be the quintessential component to establishing a bunch of really cool things. I just don't know this one very well, my friend. Good night, Mike. Evan George, what do you rate recreational cannabis on? Do you mean like a 1 out of 10 scale? Is that the question? Um, Evan, I'll answer your question in 2 seconds. Too drunk, too sloppy. One. Okay. If you've never experienced what we called in high school the crunk, where you have a toke with your drink, it can be pretty intense the first time. But if you're in a safe place and you're feeling brave and you're an adult, well, I can't tell you what to do, right? But so just be aware that it's a little different. Well, exactly, Penguin King. That's what I was going to say. Um, in the mind for me as a grower and a marijuana man of the industry and products and existence of weed titties, um, recreational and medicinal in terms of what they need to be and their qualities are one and the same. They're synonymous. They're the same fucking bloody thing, man. I'll tell you. They go together into the same thing that in the end it's just one path. Because recreational doesn't need to change what medicinal is. Medicinal and recreational have always been one and the same. It's called good cannabis properly done. So, in terms of cannabis, I prescribe to the, we used to call it, the single A to double A to the trip A, or the trips, and then it became the things, doves, trips, and then quads came on the scene as we all got better years ago, and so now there's the quads. Quads is what I call top grade cannabis. I've got 5 or 6 different variables. I look at the cannabis on how I'm going to rate it. One, how was it? What was the curing and the drying like? I can tell that from touching things. I can look at what the trim is. I'm going to look at the trichromes, their colorations. I'm going to check out density. I'm going to check out how it burns. How does it taste? How does it smell? Because if you haven't cured your cannabis properly and allowed it to settle into itself, like I'm going to know instantly from smelling it. So there's a bunch of different ways that a lot of us here in BC, we will grade cannabis. And for something to become a quads, I mean, there's a bunch of variables it has to hit to at least a certain point, and then a bunch really crazy. But yeah, that I prescribe to the quads system, if that makes sense. Evan George, everything I've experienced in terms of Canadian legal cannabis is an absolute sacrilege to the plant. It is disgusting, vile, overpriced poison. And I will say that from the bottom of my heart. So, yeah. And that is what is being put by the government. And the legal supposed LPs, the ones that the government's telling me is the same thing for the Canadian people. They're blasting their premium flower for extracts and then selling it to you. They're letting it sit in a container made with a shitload of plastic for almost a year before they sell it to you. They're charging $1 billion for this. If you watch part 2 of Potsquatch Tries to Find a Legal Dope Shop and see me try to smoke this marijuana, it felt like my brain was bleeding, and it lasted for days. Almost 2 full days. And you can see it happening in the video where I was like kind of react to it. It kept going. And I didn't know at the time what it was, but then I found out at a later date that all these companies are blasting their cannabis. I'm really sorry, Evan George. That breaks my heart, yo. But at the end of the day, things are changing. We gotta work and rock and roll and fight for these things. You know what I'm saying? There is hope. Yeah. We do not have to in Canada, like for the Canadians that are watching right now. There's hope yet. There's hope yet. There's positive things coming. We just got to work really hard to build the industry that we should have had in the first place. And not give up. If anything, it's just a prohibition 2.0. It's a set of draconian laws imposed by a control mechanism. But there's too many of us. If we learn to stand and exercise our right and our constitutional rights, we can fight for a positive, actual healthy market of cannabis. Cannabis is such a healthy, beautiful thing in and of itself, and it helps us to be healthy and beautiful. So we owe it to the weed titty plant to try to make a healthy market for it, I think, if that makes sense. Yeah, Maddox, das ist wer. Das ist der werst Scheiße. What's up, UK 6:30 a.m.? How you doing, Jim Boppin? Thank you for tuning in. No, I feel it, Casper. It's all right. Hey, Resurrection Prophet. Well, I appreciate your show, man. High Desert, California. Hell yeah. Well, tell the high desert I say hi from the low part of the Fraser Valley in the in between the trees and the mountains. And it's very wet. But thank you very much for the appreciation. I appreciate that back at you. That means a lot to me. I thank you. And also, I would like to go back earlier to our, little sketch on the weed smoking and, the coronavirus and the SARS stuff. That was pretty brilliant. If the world doesn't end up dying, we should make that a movie, everyone. Like, remember that. Let's all co-write it together. We can all be in it together. Maybe it's like the first movie of the story of the Potsquatches. Who knows? Hell yeah, Penguin King. Cheers to California. Right, fishing dudes? I think it'd be fucking sick. We're gonna do that. I write films. We do, that's what we do. It's one of the other things that me and the wife do. So, we could do this. I think it'd be super good. El Chapo, what's up, baby? Like the voice changes, reminds me of Robin Williams. Well, thank you very much, El Chapo. I will not lie to you. I did grow up watching Robin Williams, and Robin Williams is one of the number one people I would look up to in terms of acting, comedic performance, and to be fair, him and George Carlin, for the most part, are the ones I identify with at my heart of heart. So, my favorite dream acting sketch, any big film producer is watching it, listen to this now, and I'll shave for it, don't worry. We'll build it into the film, it'll be funny. I would like to remake Mrs. Doubtfire, and I'll be Mrs. Doubtfire. It could be career suicide, but I love Robin Williams, look up to him too much, and I feel comfortable to make an attempt. That would be the greatest acting dream job of my dream, would be to play Mrs. Doubtfire in honor of Robin Williams. Hell yeah, resurrection rate. Verbal aphasia. Hell yes, resurrection. There we go, reconnecting, etc., etc. Whew. Well, oh, dude, this is Doubtfire, by far, in my opinion, is one of the most brilliant, comedic, family-friendly, but controversial at the same time. Like, it was just such a beautiful thing. There was just so much to it that was great. And Robin Williams had one of the... I think he had a performance, or the chance to make a performance that really played to what his true story in many senses, in a rough way, was. It was beautiful. Hell yeah, my friend. Hey man, that could be cool, man. My Dax, that could be fun. Anyway, my friends, I got a big day tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go fuck off too. But I love all of you. You sexy, wonderful motherfuckers, each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in to Potsquatch Growers. We will be talking to you soon. We'll be on the THC show tomorrow on Pot TV with Neil, and come check that out. It'll be a good time. Anyway, everybody, keep it sexy. Thank you very much, Big Max. I had a great time too, everybody. Keep it real. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love.